cruising back to 4th now.
Now, let's see if Rusty Wallace and Geoff Gordon can catch Geoff Bodine, or can Rusty Wallace drive away from Geoff Gordon?
Yeah, while all that was going on, those positions were being traded there. Geoff has upped his lead to over 3.5 seconds, but we'll see if it decreases. And here's an AutoZone on-track interval that pretty much backs up that statement.
He picked up a half a second that time by, as Rusty Wallace was trying to get by both Kenny Wallace and the 30 car of Johnny Benson. And Geoff Gordon is closed up right on the back bumper of Rusty Wallace. Oh, he looks on that side, he dives to the inside. Whoa!
This is turn 11. And they'll go side by side down the front stretch here, heading to turn number 1. Who's going to come out with second position? Looks like Gordon.
Well, there's the leader, and there's second place. It is Geoff Gordon.
Well, he has a 9.3 average finish in his last 6 races, the best of any driver. We're talking about Geoff Gordon, who's now second to Geoff Bodine. Well, it's been a weekend of the Bodine so far. Todd had the pole position, and now Geoff leads this race by about 4 seconds over Geoff Gordon. There's third place Rusty Wallace, and Dale Jarrett is moving to the front.
Well, he was back in 9th, Bob, and now has moved up to the 5th position in the last 5 laps.
We are now halfway to Bud At The Glen. These cars running the guesses. They make the right-hander turn 4. Let's see if that Yates horsepower can pull it out. Pretty cheap on that 30 car. Doug Hewitt is 48 years old today.
Haven't talked much about Terry Labonte, last year's champion. He's hanging right in there, 10th position.
He's right ahead of the car that we're riding with right now, driven by Robbie Gordon. In 10th and 11th.
Robbie downshifted twice to that corner. Robbie Gordon, corners wide shut.
Bill Weber has more on Kenny Wallace, who has now fallen back to 9th position.
Yeah, Bob, slipping back through the field. He told the crew he's starting to lose the grip on his tires. Now, the 24 car noticed that Rusty couldn't get by or wouldn't get by Kenny, and that's when they told Geoff Gordon, you've got to get this brake going so you can get around him. And when all those guys started going by Kenny Wallace, his crew was telling him on the radio, don't let those guys by, don't let those guys by. Hold your spot. Now the 5 goes by, the 5 car. And Kenny just called back and said, settle down, boys. We're going to be okay. Remember, Kenny Wallace has gone about 30 laps on his fuel, so he may need to pit here pretty soon.
And tires. They tell me down there this morning that tires is an issue here because in 30 laps, you're really slipping and sliding around the racetrack.
Another Napa field summary. Geoff Bodine, the leader of the race, started in 7th spot.
Robbie Gordon, as he gets by Kenny Wallace, takes over the spot.
That's turn 10.
Puts him in 10th spot.
Yep.
Mark Martin's back in the fray. The 6 car, the Babylon. On the back bumper of Kenny Schrader. That's what spot, Dan?
13th. Schrader's running in 12th.
And both Dallenbach and Mark Martin pulled out at the same time, and both successfully passed.
Schrader.
I'm sorry. Schrader.
Yeah. Remember that name, Schrader.
34 cars still on the lead lap.
And I've been looking at the interval between the leader and Geoff Gordon, and Geoff is closing up. It was about 4 3/4 seconds. It's down now to 3 1/4 seconds. So he's closed about a second and a half in the last couple of laps. And Rusty Wallace is not letting it go anyplace. Car, the Skittles Pontiac. Jerry Coates back on the racetrack. He's cut about and Geoff Bodine.
Oh, you're right. It is getting closer. Let's see how close it is.
Oh, wow. It was 3.29 the last lap. This time 2.67. So a half second. Geoff Gordon trimmed off that lead that time.
And Johnny Benson has lost a lot of positions here in the last couple of laps and losing more right here. He dropped from 5th back to 9th.
And Robbie Gordon is trying to get around him for the 9th spot.
Actually, he was in 4th before he started losing those positions.
Had a good qualifying run that put him 7th on the grid, or 4th on the grid, we should say.
He's now 7th. You can see on the pylon up to upper left.
Terry Labonte just creeping right on up there, guys. He's up to 8th now. He's smooth on these road courses.
He does a fabulous job at road racing. Once again, last time is 2.67. 2.67 last time. Let's see what it is this time. 2.14, another half second. Trimmed off that lead.
Yeah, Gordon and Rusty are coming.
Mark Martin. Whoa! Spins right across the racetrack. And he did not get to the gravel, so if he can keep it running, he should not get stuck. And it is running. I saw it start.
Yeah, I think it died, and then he had to use the starter to get it cranked again. Lost a lot of positions there, Benny, but at least it didn't hit anything. Shouldn't have done any damage to the car.
Well, he went from 12th to, let's see, about 20, about 30th, 28th.
Oh, that's tough. There's the pole setter right front. Geoff Bodine.
So actually, he didn't go to 29th. Here's what happened to Schrader. He saw Mark Martin make this pass. He said, I think I'll dive down to the inside. But he decided too late. And when Benson, he saw Benson was going to come down, he tried not to hit Johnny Benson and just simply spun himself out. To avoid hitting Benson, he himself spun out.
Here's Jerry Punch.
Well, if you look in the Kenny Schrader pits, you will not find Andy Petrie, because at 2 o'clock this morning, Andy got a call to come home because wife Patty was in active labor to have their first child. So they put this sign here in the pits: wanted, crew chief, car owner. Ours is gone to have a baby. We are told that Patty is not quite in complete active labor. They're back in Asheville in the hospital room watching the race, and Andy is by her side watching and waiting for his car to maybe have a good run. And I think Andy's heart had to skip a beat a moment ago.
Well, we wish them the best. On pit road is Kyle Petty. Let's go down to Bill.
Well, one of the guys that had pitted out of the sequence, if you prefer, Kyle Petty now on pit road, going around to the left side, getting left side tires, plenty of fuel. One tire starts to roll away. They chase that down. They'll come around to the right side. Kyle will get right side tires, and then he'll try and stretch his fuel from this point to the end of the race. We were watching Kenny Wallace. He was supposed to pit on lap 51. Now they're going to try and stretch it to 54 and see if he can make it to the end. 19.3 for Kyle Petty. He's back on pit road heading for turn 1.
And Kyle Petty stopped on lap 17. He completed lap 50, so he ran 33 laps. We might need to put that in the back of our heads.
But he's got 40 to go. So,
yeah, so he's got to stop again.
It was 1.56 seconds last lap, and it's about the same thing.
You missed it.
About 1.5 second advantage for Geoff Bodine over Jeff Gordon and Rusty Wallace. Back with more Bud at the Glen in a moment.